everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of 52 Week Movie Challenge. Um, for this episode, I mentioned earlier that I wanted, like in the last episode, that when I was talking about the natural disaster film, after that I saw it set in your location or region. So I had thought about watching Pocahontas because obviously we have done like Peter Pan, we've done Dumbo, we've done Oliver and Company. I wanted to do as many Disney cartoons as I could because I haven't really seen them in forever, and so I've been dying to rewatch them or whatnot. And I own Pocahontas on Blu-ray with Pocahontas 2, but I decided to do Pocahontas as a on Disney Plus instead. So, all right, so we're gonna kick this off. Pocahontas, year release was 1995. Date challenge completed was 9/19/22. Aspect ratio is 1.661. Running time is an hour and 21 minutes. It's like an hour and a half with like Disney Plus really like they say like everything that I guess it's been recorded as. So like when it should be like an hour and a half, they add an extra 7 minutes or something, or whatever it was, an hour 21 minutes, they add like 8 minutes or 9 minutes of like like this was the Dutch language and these are the people, right? So I guess they have other I mean I don't do any other audio for it, but I guess they have other audio for it if you want to listen to the different audio formats or whatever. So next is my rating is 4 stars. Let's see, it's genre animation family, rated G, starring Mel Gibson, which I forgot he was the star of this, Captain John Smith. Christian Bale, who's also in the New World, played John Rolfe in that, but he played Thomas in this. Linda Hunt played the tree, I think. Irene Bedard played Pocahontas, and then John Kassir was my favorite. It was Miko. I love Miko. I had to make sure that whatever. Miko, the raccoon, which I thought was a talking raccoon. Like I hadn't seen this movie in forever, but I always thought he talked. Doesn't talk, but still, hangs out with Pocahontas. I mean, it makes more sense than a talking raccoon, but it's Disney. And John Kassir is also the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And I've actually interviewed him once. Came on my show back in the day and on one of my anniversaries and chatted with me. So that was pretty cool. All right. Directed by James Pentecost. No, it was produced by James Pentecost. It was directed by Mike Gabriel and Eric Goldberg. Written by Susanna Grant and 26 others. A lot of writers on this. A lot of like story people. Music by Alan Menken, who did a lot of the music for a lot of the Disney stuff. Which we'll get into that, but I was not like, maybe The Color of the Wind or whatever was like probably the best song. The rest of the songs were kind of blah. And I've always remembered it as like this is probably to me one of the most immemorable like musicals, because I just don't remember many of the songs and they didn't have anything that I just go, this was a great something to like sing along to. Awards, I won 2 Oscars, once for best music and best song. Why do you choose this particular film? Because I was in the mood for Disney again. Pretty much. Have you seen this movie before years ago? I don't even think I've seen the whole thing, honestly. But I do remember watching it years ago as a kid. I've always wanted it because I want all the Disney Blu-rays, Disney cartoon Blu-rays. I'm
Mhm.
eventually gonna get all of them, but right now I don't have super duper a lot. Like I may have 20, which isn't a lot compared to how many there are. Would you recommend this film? Why or why not? I definitely would recommend it. I had a blast watching it. It was a well decent movie, well made movie, but we'll get into that. What character were you able to identify with? In what way? Miko. He likes to have fun and steal food. Trash pandas for life. So, best line or memorable quote is this bottomless pit, you're a friend of yours? I like that line. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you do differently? Eh, sort of. I don't remember. I didn't remember it and thought he stayed with her, I guess. But in real life, he did go off. You know that this was not historically accurate. We'll go into that. Um, and no, I guess I wouldn't change anything, and it was fine. How well do you feel the film portrayed your region? What subtle details were there that completed the picture? None at all. I mean, we didn't have waterfalls or talking anim well, talking trees, talking mystical trees, just a lot of Disney silliness. And anything else you'd like to add? Nope. See it on Disney Plus. So yeah, this movie was, I mean, it was cute. It was fun. It's something that girls can look up to. There's a strong, you know, you know, strong character, strong female character, and I really enjoyed it for that. But yeah, if you're looking for something historically accurate, even New World, which is I've done and I've talked about, is not completely 100% accurate. I mean, you're probably not going to get a movie that's 100% accurate of what literally what happened because um it's just there's just so much stuff that probably happened that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to see. It was Pocahontas was not the age that this girl portrays. Uh, it was really weird how they were talking in English when they were just like the Algonquin Indians would just chat with each other. They would talk in English. And then when she was around John Smith, all of a sudden, at first, she started talking, Algonquin. Um, it felt really weird. Like looking back at this movie, um, I don't really like I feel very weird watching it because there were some moments where I'm like, oh my God, that probably would have might have happened back in those days, but I don't know. And so some of it made me feel a little cringy. Um, especially the beginning but it was so Disney. This is like they took Beauty and the Beast and they decided we're gonna have Pocahontas be Belle and Captain John Smith, be the Beast, and the guy Kocoum or whatever. Oh no, I guess the governor was there just wasn't that love triangle thing for it. I enjoyed watching this. Again, it's just like I said, it's just there's some cringy moments that I think because of it being 1995 and them trying to portray it the way they, sort of thought. But like once again, there were no waterfalls. It didn't it in Virginia, like there's none in Virginia, period. It didn't feel like this was actually um would have taken place about this time. However, that's sort of, I guess, okay, considering it's a freaking Disney movie. Like it's not, it doesn't have to be like that. Like it has to just be something that little girls and probably boys or whatever can watch. I watched it, but I remember I think I turned it off because it's too girly for me when I was a kid. And it's still, very much women powered, kind of thing. Um, Captain John Smith, I was very glad that he was sort of not this like, exact heroic hero guy, that whatever, but he was very beast-like. Like he was, I mean, didn't act exactly like him, but he had this like quality of like a guy that, had this sort of history of being sort of nasty to what they called savages back then. I love that. Like I loved the part about the savage stuff. Like, her saying, "Oh, you think I'm a savage?" And I'm like, "Oh man." Because like it's so funny that she's having this like serious conversation. How does she know English? And at least in New World, she sort of had to learn English from him and stuff. And I mean, once again, they really did not historically make this, accurate. And I don't think that was the point. I think the point was, okay, what kind of Disney princess can we make that's different than all the other princesses that we've already done? And so they already did like Cinderella, they already did, all these other ones. So they were like, let's do Pocahontas. And I mean, the Disney princess line is sort of a weird thing to cross because, like, she's not really a princess, but I guess in the Disney princess thing, that's the way it is. So Cinderella really wasn't a princess, but she ended up marrying a prince, becoming a princess. Uh, John Smith was not a prince. He wasn't Prince John Smith. She did end up in, I believe, end up marrying John Rolfe. So later and all that, but which also, once again, goes back to Christian Bale played both characters like he did Thomas, who was this like bumbling guy, didn't really know how to shoot well, except that he ended up shooting her, the guy she was supposed to marry, and all that. And you know what? I was sort of mad at that point because I was like, he protected John. He was just doing his job. Like he was protecting him. Like he got yelled at about that. I'm like, you finally do something right, and then you get yelled at. Sounds about right. Um, but all in all, I think the movie was, had some moments where it was good and fun and enjoyable. But all in all, I mean, is it better than like Beauty and the Beast? Hell no. Is it better than the live action Dumbo? Yes. Very much. The songs, like I said, I thought there were maybe one or two songs I liked. The rest were just kind of like, I'm, kind of in my ear, out my other ear kind of thing. I hope they don't try to make a live action Pocahontas because literally they're gonna ruin history then. Unless they do it like Milan where they try to make it historically accurate, then we already got that. We got the New World. I mean, I guess the New World was more concentrating on like the New World, like everything, not just Pocahontas, but a lot of Pocahontas was done in that. So I don't think we need that. Um, Anywho, I mean, I could have picked a lot of things because it was set in my region. So I could have picked almost a bunch of different things, but I wanted to watch Pocahontas again. I was in the mood to watch another Disney flick, and I hadn't seen this in forever. So why not? I would like to see on the Blu-ray if they have any like special features or commentary or something, and like hear like I want to hear what it was like working with Mel Gibson doing the voices and stuff. Like this was pre like, him freaking out and everything. This is around like I think this is around Braveheart time. So for him to do like a voice like this, I mean that's pretty remarkable. Um and I mean honestly, he didn't bring anything as far as his voice goes, in my opinion. He sounded like Mel Gibson doing a voice of John Smith. You know what I mean? Like it didn't bring anything new or interesting or cool. Like he could have been some random person and had that voice, and I would have been like, oh man, that sounds like Mel Gibson. I mean, just sounded okay, you know. Um, I just he didn't, and the girl who did Pocahontas, I liked her a lot. Like I liked her character a lot more. I think that was it. I think I didn't like Captain John Smith's character that much, but I liked Pocahontas a lot. Um, Loved Miko. I want like now I want a pet Miko, like stuffed Miko. So if I can find a plushie Miko, I will definitely do it because he was my favorite. There's that little dog too. Oh, I forgot Percy. Ah, loved him. He was so cute. He looked like a little bulldog. And he was a little obnoxious little brat. But if then then you fall in love with him. So just like Disney. Um, and just like Disney, you know, she had a dad and didn't seem to have a mom. Weird things uh with Disney and single parents. Anywho, that's my review. 4 stars. I mean, it was fun and enjoyable, and I liked it, and I would watch it again. And again, it's a cute movie. But that's it. Nothing more. All right. So, what's next? Ba-ba-ba. Okay, about an actual composer, musician, band, or group. Awesome. I have plenty to choose from. So that's going to be the next week's one about a composer or band or group, musician, whatever. So awesome. I've got ideas what I want, stuff that I have not seen and I want to watch for the first time. So sometimes I do that because, like I'm in the mood to watch something I haven't seen. And this would be the perfect place to do more Hollywood ones that wouldn't go on Indie Film Cafe. So perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. Join me next week where I'm going to be doing a composer. And yeah, we'll talk then. Till then, everybody. Bye.